Hello and welcome to the breakdown, a bonus episode of The Good, The Bad and The Rugby in partnership with our friends at Continental Tyres. How are you, Michael?
I'm very well, actually, James. I've just got off the golf course, which is always lovely. I was incredibly awful though, but yeah, it was good fun playing up in Aberdeen on the Legends Tour. So yeah, but I'm still way off being a professional golfer. So
What consists of the Legends Tour, just out of interest? Like, how do you
I
become a legend?
no, the Legends are it's a senior tour event, so the senior pros, so the likes of Paul Lawrie and Ian Woosnam and those sorts who are there. Not
But you,
us, unfortunately. We compete in like a celebrity thing, but you could win a trip to Mauritius to play in the final. I did not win
ooh,
that today. I did not
okay.
win that today. But I
I thought
came
you,
away with a bottle of American bourbon and a bottle of 12-year-old whiskey. So, from my point of view, winning.
I thought you said you came home with American Bird. I was like, that's going to be a headline.
that, that,
Didn't know they
that,
give
that's the kind of golf tournament you can get on board with, I guess.
yeah. I just started taking out golf. I'll dust off the TaylorMade's. I thought we talked about something super positive, but we're not. Obviously, we're here to react briefly about kind of the fact that England are going to be without captain Owen Farrell and number 8 Billy Vunipola for the start of the World Cup. They were missing the huge opening game in Marseille versus Argentina. This has been. I mean, Billy. I mean, we should probably start with Owen because that's the biggest thing. But this, from afar, from Ibiza, from a sort of alcohol-soaked sun lounger in between DJ sets.
Even you heard about this.
Yeah,
That's the shit show it has been.
that's how bad it is. Let's talk about Owen firstly, because it obviously, a clear high tackle caught someone on the head contact, albeit not intentional. And then I actually was at England camp the day that the verdict. I saw Richard Smith. Sort of congratulate him. I hadn't really seen the clips of the video. Thought fair play. Obviously, our governing bodies looked at it, made the right decision, and we all could move on. Lucky Owen. Owen, he's a good mate of ours. We love him. Let's all move on. However, that wasn't the case.
No, very much so. Yeah, Richard Smith's just basically done his job and pulled around the wording of the laws around mitigation and sudden change of movement. Now, there's loads of things I think about this more often. Is who is the panel? And like, if I was on that panel, there is no way there's any mitigating circumstances in terms of a sudden change in height. There isn't one. It's just, he's already up in the wrong place and he never even tries to go below it. How you can say that he was ever legal? It wasn't. I mean, for me, it's a poor technique tackle because he hits with the wrong shoulder. But this is what Faz does. He gets his body across the front of it, so he knows he won't miss that tackle. But then he dices with the law, whether you like it or not. That is who he is. That's how he plays. You say you want to see change in behaviour. It's easier said than done in the heat of battle. And we've got to where he's got a 4-game ban. Creates interesting thoughts about how you reintegrate him if Fordy, who did look very sharp when he came on, if he gets the attack line firing, because that's the biggest problem at the moment is we just can't finish anything off. How do you reintegrate him afterwards if everything suddenly clicks in place? Because everything I'm hearing from camp is they're in a great place. They're having the best time. They're people will now jump on that and go, "What do you mean they're having the best time? How can they be having the best time when they're losing on the round?" Well, if I can understand, you still got to have fun when you're in camp. Otherwise, it gets really bad.
Yeah.
So you hopefully, you get a good performance, and that'll shift. If you're in a good place as a group, that's easy to jump on momentum if you can get a nice win against Fiji, and it's not going to be easy because Fiji looked quite sharp against France last weekend as well. So it's a big challenge because this also sets England when they go into this World Cup and they're watching the games from Fiji's group with Wales and Australia, gives them a real sort of gauge of where they are. So if they put in a massive performance against Fiji and smash them, let's say, and then Fiji go and beat Wales or they go and beat Oz, then you know that you can have a real good feeling about where you are going into that group, and it really sets a standard really.
I love Owen. I think he gets a really, really harsh rap. I think I know why he gets a harsh rap because he doesn't want to talk to the media, and because of because he doesn't speak and he leaves a void. The void is filled by people who don't like him and interpretations of his behaviour and everything else. I would always speak, as you can imagine, because I don't want people to tell me what I actually mean, what I think, and what I do. And then what I was more shocked about than anything was just the furore around
No,
Owen and the personal
unbelievable.
attack.
But it's got nothing. But this is the thing is, it's got nothing to do with him. Like he's gone. Yeah, it was a legal tackle. I'll take it on the chin. But we think that that's all he's done, and the rest is a lawyer and the judiciary.
Yeah.
He's done nothing, and then everyone goes after him. Oh, he shouldn't even go to the World Cup. It's a disgrace. Hang on. And this is what I was saying to him. What World Rugby have done is basically disagree with all the processes they put in place. So let's say they pick the refs. So they do. So the referee's given a yellow card in a review under the new World Rugby guidelines. The bunker that World Rugby has ultimately put in place, who they pick the guy who's in the bunker, has given a decision. Then the independent World Rugby judiciary officer has picked a judiciary to go and sit the case, and they've found it a different. They've gone against the bunker that everyone wants. So they've already poo-pooed the first line of defence that they put in the bunker, and then they've gone, actually we don't like the result of our guy who's picked that panel. So let's appeal against that panel.
Yeah,
and because and it's just like, well, how much money has that cost? How much time has that wasted? It's just like, what's
mad.
the point?
I want to say just quickly about Owen. Like, he's made some mistakes around tackle height. None of it's ever been intentional, because you'd have to be mad to go into it, do that. I think it's an error. Yeah. But you and I both know, and I don't like anyone. He's one of the nicest, hardest, most competitive, honest, direct people that you could want in your team. Every team that's ever worked with him wants him in the team. Everyone knows his value. Is he everyone's cup of tea? No. Does he play the media game? No. But does he deserve what he's getting? Absolutely not. Do I think he's a good man? Yeah. Do I think that he just wants to play the best for England and be competitive? Yes. Can he tackle low? 100%. Would I, if I'd had what had happened to him, would I have come out in the media and done a kissy interview and said, and shown a bit my side? Yeah. He's not like that bloke. Would I now be running around and hitting people around the ankles? Yeah. Is he capable of doing that? 100%. And I think it's sad. I think we should go into this World Cup much more positive and much more like, it's rugby, it's a sport, it's a game, guys. Like, I didn't the Lionesses World Cup, nothing happened. England win the first 3 warm-up games. Everything's okay.
But you go through 2007. We got hammered by 35 points against South Africa. We end up in a final. You just never know what's going to happen. France were like in civil revolt in 2011. They binned off their coaches. They weren't even allowed in the training ground, and they were just training themselves. And they got to a final and possibly could have won.
And they lost 2 games they should have won.
South Africa in 2019 were terrible for the whole tournament. They turned up for one game. They got the first team to lose a pool game and win a World Cup. It's like yes, I think we've got issues at the moment. I think we are a bit leaky and too easy to score against, and we have got creative issues. But there are also signs in there that we can get, at least we're getting into the attacking zones. We're just not being clinical enough at the moment. But that can easily change on one quality team try, and that changes. But everyone just jumps on the negative. A back hasn't scored in 5 hours and 37 minutes and 26 seconds. Who gives a fuck, man? It's just like on a player's scale, that is not what we're thinking about. If you've got issues, more than any journo or any fan what your problems are, but you've got to believe that you're going to fix them, and it would be quite nice if people tried to help them fix it by being a bit of positivity here, knowing that you've got his back, they've got her back. Tell you what, it's hard enough to win an international game when you've got a crowd with you. When you're going in and all you're reading is negative stuff about you, it makes it slightly harder.
I was lucky enough to interview Kevin Sinfield the other day. I've seen Porters a couple of times, spoken to him. I was lucky enough to go into camp. I've seen some of the lads. I can tell you this, for anyone listening, nobody cares as much about an England team as those players do. Nobody is more upset after a loss than those England players. Nobody's working harder to rectify it than those England players. And nobody's on a jolly, and everybody's aware that it isn't good enough. And I think this Owen thing, luckily, he's so experienced that he's got broad shoulders and he can move past it. I have no issue that the RFU challenge and Richard Smith worked his magic, because that's what the legal system is. You can get off. I'm not saying it's necessarily moralistic.
Why do England employ a KC? Well, he's the best in the business. So if your law is not quite watertight, he will find loopholes, which paid to do.
Why'd you get off a parking ticket if the bloke hasn't photographed the ticket on the front of the car? Because it's a technicality. That's how life works. If you aren't arrested and they don't Miranda you and give you your rights, you get off. It's like, that's the point. You've got to do things by the letter. And if someone can find a loophole...
It's amazing you know about that arrested and Miranda rights.
I've actually never been arrested. Unbelievable. Not yet, anyway. Obviously, it'd be remiss of us, because I know this is obviously a little short pod, to talk about kind of Billy V.
Yeah, I mean, my issue with the Billy's one is he's got no reason to be there. He's the biggest man in history. He's coming in to blindside someone. He doesn't need to be up there. He could cut them in two, and he'd knock them backwards. I mean, it's just a bit. I think it was a bit lazy on Billy's part in terms of, if you're gonna step in like that the ball's in the air and you're going, I'm going to whack somebody. You've got no reason to be up high, because wherever you whack him, the actual lower that you are, he'll probably spill the ball. Yeah, Billy looks like he's an interesting question mark about it, because obviously he's got 3 weeks. 3 games, which would bring him back for the Chile match. But if he goes to tackle school and gets his pass, gets his stamped, he can come. He should be back for the Japan game. It's one of those where when Billy's playing well, you want Billy in your team, but it has been quiet. I don't know how the knee is in it, or the rehab, or not. If England don't play well, it's very hard to get on the front foot with for Billy as well at the same time.
I don't think it's a massive loss with Bill. I think, because I think what will happen is they'll run him into the ground, try to get him fit, actually probably maybe get that kind of clean running that he probably couldn't have done when he was doing rehab, and maybe come back and hit the ground running. So I don't think it's a bigger loss as Owen. But as you said, Fordy, Fordy's on a bit of a, he come in quietly, and he's just kind of more of a mature statesman now, kind of quite easy, and just does what he does. There's not really pressure on him, is there? There's more pressure on him.
I tell you what, Marcus Smith looked all right at fullback as well, to be honest. So who knows? But we'll see, won't we? I'm just glad the madness is over. Yeah. Now maybe we can just get back to a bit of positivity.
Yeah, a bit of
positivity is wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can wrap that there. I just think for me, when you're in sport as a player, it's everything. It's your life. When you're a fan, you become irrational about things, and you become very positive and very concerned. And then when you've done a bit of both, and you're even further removed, you then sort of go, look, it's meant to be a sport, and what's meant to be fun is the ups and downs, and you're not meant to take the downs like they're life-changing moments. You're not supposed to take the ups, because they define everything. We're going out there for the World Cup. We're working with Continental Tyres. We've got this amazing spectacle. We're on cruise ships. All I want to do is talk about the fun and the enjoyment. And do you know what? That's the way to do things, because I think looking at the Lionesses, as I said, looking at the England cricket team, even in losses, there was still excitement, because there was characters and people and fun for people to hang their hats on. And I think, Tins, you and I can do this in rugby.
Yeah, for sure. And always remember, anyone who's listening to this, we beat Argentina. We're in a quarter-final. We lose to Argentina. We're probably still in the quarter-final. So whatever happens, we're going to be in the quarter-final. We should be in the quarter-final to then be able to, take on Wales, either Wales, Fiji, or Australia, because I think that group is wide open. Yeah. And then you're in the semi-final, and anything can happen then. And all 3 of those are in the similar boat to us. So, we're facing teams that are in similar boats to us all the way through until the semi-final. And then, Ireland will have gone out in a quarter. Australia, no, I don't know. Ireland still look ridiculously good. Ridiculous. So I'm not even going to say that. I hope they don't. Actually, I so hope they don't, because they don't deserve to. With how good they've been.
Well, Tins, listen, it's great to catch up with you. We will be back very soon. Thank you for joining.
I'll see you when the summer ends, after you get back from Ibiza. Yeah.
Well, actually, do you know what? We've got some very exciting stuff coming up, because we're going to be back in this podcast studio, you, me, and Alex next week. We're going to be back at filming at British Airways to say goodbye to the England team. And then we're going to be on the cruise ship, Infinity Cruises, with 4,000 super nauses on a boat. on a boat. What could possibly go wrong? I'll be DJ. We'll be doing
And
live
and
shows.
then we get back and we've got a 16-day tour, which we still haven't written.
We still don't know what we're going to talk about, but please buy tickets because I assure you it will be great. But anyway, listen, thank you for joining us for a special breakdown episode of the Good to the Bad and Rugby brought to you by Continental Tyres.